word he called Chinwe. That snake word is actually the snake. Yes.
The number one is Nelly for sure. The person I entered this place with. That's why I trust the most, because that's my G for life. That's my sister. So, of course, she has my back. I have her back any day, no matter the situation. Who I trust the least. I would have not said anybody, but with the way Sean called my name, that nomination.
I also think she victim blames a lot. So, and I think she should try to be a lot more aware of how her actions impact on others. There seems to be a blind spot there to me when.
So guys, in my previous video, I had made mention and promised you guys that I was going to bring you guys details of the makeshift diary session that these housemates had with their fellow housemates, with their fellow housemates standing in with them as big brothers. So guys, here we have it. But before we go into the details of this, hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl, Peace Samuel, and this is Bible PEACEY. Yeah, especially welcome to my YouTube channel. For you new subscribers, one marks to you all. For returning subscribers, you guys know I love you. You're the real MVPs. Peace and love, guys. So guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please kindly do so. Turn on post notification bell button to be amongst the first set of people to see my videos each time I post a new one. Also, like my videos so YouTube can recommend my videos to new subscribers and individuals of like minds. And turn on post notification bell. I don't know if I've said that before, but I'm repeating it in case I haven't. Subscribe, it's free. So quickly, let's dive straight into the details of today's video. Let's get into the details of diary session of selected few housemates, the ones I feel as though it's relevant, and it's the ones that I deem worthy of this video, the ones that I find interesting, and they add a lot to talk about, and they had a lot to say. They had something different to say, unlike the ones that had the first set of the diary session. They not really have much to say aside from the usual same old question and answer they do whenever they're having the diary session with big brothers. So to start with, Kelly Ray had his, and for his first impression, like the people he had wrong impressions about, and on getting to know them, on studying them, he had realized that everything he thought about them, it's actually a wrong impression, or it's not really how it seems, or the life experiences had actually shaped them to kind of person they've become. So it's not really by choice, it's not really how they want it to be, but that is how they found themselves. That is what they found themselves doing, and that is how they find themselves reacting. So if they come across as rude, is as a result of how life shaped them. So to start with, his first impression was Suj and Wani. For Wani, he said that Wani comes across as rude. For Suj, he mentioned that Suj comes across as proud. He said his first impression about these guys is that they come across as unnecessarily rude, but on getting to know them and studying them, he has realized that it's their life circumstances that they found themselves in, and life shapes them into being that kind of, like, it's more or less like a defense mechanism. For the housemates he trusts the most, he had mentioned Kassia, because Kassia is, they came into the house together, and then he's 100% sure that Kassia will not lose guard him. And we all know there is an added reason to that, and it's because they are married. They are a married couple in real life. So they are husband and wife. For the housemates he least trusts, he had mentioned Oyeka, and his reason is because he doesn't like the way she moves. Like, she moves in a funny way. She moves funny. And the most annoying, he mentioned on Wani because of her rudeness and a manner of approach towards him. For the least annoying, he mentioned Anita because she's cool, calm, and collected. She understands timing. She knows when to interact, when to say something, when to have a conversation, and when not to have a conversation, when to keep quiet. She knows how to. He likes the way she carries herself in the house, her carriage, and all of that. So for the least annoying, he had mentioned Anita, and I think Anita got a lot of least annoying from a couple number of the housemates. Like, they picked Anita for least annoying, and I just feel like, okay, for a lot of housemate to actually pick her as the least annoying. Probably she's not that annoying. She's not even annoying at all. So she doesn't step on toes. She doesn't piss people off. She doesn't get on people's nerves in the house. So she's all well and good. And probably that's the reason why she's still in the house till date. I forgot to add that Tofa was actually Kelly Ray's makeshift big brother. So moving on to the next person, it's Ozzy. He had his diary session, and Onyeka coincidentally was his makeshift big brother. For his biggest fears, he has made mention that the negative perceptions about viewers and about people from the outside, and for in general negative perception about him and his brother, and that is his greatest fear. He doesn't like it when people have a wrong impression about them, and he's in the show to rewrite that narrative and correct that. I also mentioned that another of his greatest fear is exposing his life, everything about his personal life on national TV. So for the housemates he trusts the most, he had mentioned his twin brother, of course, OC, and we all know the reason for that. They were born and brought up together, raised together, like they literally stay together. They know everything about each other, and they do everything together. But then Onyeka she tried to probe more and ask more questions, and then she had asked him if you were to take your brother out of the equation, if your brother was not there, if your brother was not in the house, who is going to be your most trusted? And he had said, okay, you, of course. And she had said, nice answer. And I'm like, big shifts. For the least annoying, he had mentioned Victoria because she comes across as unproblematic. She's very, very unproblematic. She doesn't like problems at all. She doesn't like issues, just like himself. And for the most annoying, he had mentioned Onyeka, and then he has tried to play the usual lawyer scripts, like Ozzy being Ozzy. He had explained to Onyeka that she is the most annoying in a good way, in a cool way, of course. Like, she challenges him to be a better version of himself, in life and all of that. And Onyeka was just there blushing and smiling like somebody that they gave candy, that they gave chocolate. Anyways, they laughed and hugged each other, and they walked away from the diary session area. Not the diary room. They used a makeshift diary room upstairs in the living room area. So they had hugged each other and had left the place. So the next person was Victoria, and Nelly was a makeshift big brother. For Victoria's diary session, it was quite revealing. She shared a story of how she stuttered a lot as a child, and as a result of that, she was ridiculed a lot, hence the reason for her quietness in the first, second, third week of coming into the house, and how she struggled a lot and all of that. So it was a reason when she got into the house, she everything, it all came crawling back, and it was as though she was reliving that childhood experience and memory, and hence the reason for her crawling into her shell and taking her time, struggling a lot and taking her time before she finally came out of it. At some point she even cried because she just wasn't, she was struggling a lot, and it took collective effort of lots of housemates to bring her out of that shell. Ozzy is number one person, Suj at some point. A lot of housemates, they tried as much as possible, they tried their possible best to bring her out of that shell. And of course, we already know how she is. She's been effortlessly playing the game, and she's been unproblematic if you face her, but not to say she shies away from problems. If you bring problems to her, she will give you gospels. I just like her kind of person. So that's how it's been so far, so good. For the most the wrong impression, the housemate they had wrong impression about, she had mentioned Wani and Andy, and when she came to the house, she was like, who are these girls? They are so aggressive, they are so annoying, so rude. And then on getting to know them, she was like, okay, it's their life experience that shaped them to who they are, to acting this way. So it's more or less like their defense mechanism. The same thing that Kelly had said, that was the same thing that Victoria said. Also mentioned Nelly, an husband that you got a first impression about, that a wrong impression about. She also mentioned Nelly. She said Nelly comes across as proud and being a snob, but on getting to know Nelly, she realized that Nelly is actually a sweet soul. And then she also mentioned Onyeka, that she got to know Onyeka, she got to share a life story with Onyeka, share a lot, and confide in Onyeka, and then she just realized that Onyeka is a snake. Like Onyeka is not a good person. They got along really well, but along the line they had a falling out because she realized and noticed that Onyeka is actually very cunning. For the person she trusts the most, she mentioned Sean, and the reason she gave is because Sean doesn't sugarcoat his words. He doesn't butter you up. He gives you exactly the way it is. He's very, very blunt. When you go for him for advice, or when you do something, when you tell him something, he would give it to you and blast you. She's not the only person that had mentioned this. So far as well, I'd mentioned this particular thing, and he said that is the reason why he goes to Sean for relationship advice and problems, to get advice and all of that, because Sean will tell him to him exactly as it is, as against him going to Suj for advice. And we all know that Suj is his paired partner, his duo in the house. They came into the house together. They've known themselves from outside, and they got into the house together. And so far, he's just meeting Sean. And for him to say this, it actually means that it's actually true. So she had said this, and for the least trusted, she had mentioned Tjay, and the reason she gave is because Tjay comes across as nice, as a nice person, a good person, but then when you study him, you realize that he's actually very cunning, and then he's also an instigator. Yeah, she called him an instigator. For the least annoying, she mentioned Kassia, because Kassia is more like a sister to her. Kassia is a good person. Kassia is like a friend. Kassia helped her when she was struggling and all of that. And Kassia is someone that she can confide in and, just with, talk to, and they get along really well. She goes to Kassia for comfort. And for the most annoying, she mentioned Suj. And the reason for this is because Suj is selectively polite and unnecessarily rude to members of the house. So that is the reason why she finds Suj as the most annoying. And I'm like, Victoria, at some point on getting into the show, at the beginning of the show, you and Suj, you guys were friends. What happened? Like, how did it go south? Suj was amongst the first set of people that was trying to, bring you out from your shell, make you talk, and get to know you better. Although she kept saying that whenever she tells Suj something, Suj will go and relay everything to Sean, and she doesn't like that fact, so she's not going to talk to Suj again and all of that. Maybe that's the reason, I don't know, but that's what she said. Moving on to Sean's diary session, Anita was his makeshift big brother. For his biggest fear, he had mentioned that it is to be perceived and judged wrongly. For his most, the housemates he trusts the most, he mentioned Wani, Ndi, and the Mbadwe twins, and Victoria, and somehow Onyeka. And the reason why I said somehow Onyeka, because Onyeka, it's fluctuating. He doesn't really trust her like that. Like, the trust is not really that strong. For the most annoying housemate, he had mentioned Kassia. The reason he gave was because of the issue that brought about the conspiracy issue, the conspiracy conversation that brought about him catching a strike. That's the reason why he least trusts Kassia, and it was so funny. For the least annoying, he had mentioned Tjay, and for the most annoying, he mentioned Onyeka because of the way she reacts during their sponsor test whenever she wins. Like, she rubs it in their faces, and she brags about it, and she shows off a lot whenever she wins, and it's quite annoying, and it doesn't like it at all, even though Onyeka is his friend. So far, Wani was his makeshift big brother for the day, and for his first impression, wrong impression, he had mentioned Victoria, because he didn't know that, like he said, he thought that Victoria was a quiet person, but then on studying her and getting to know her better, he just realized that Victoria is quite expressive, and she can actually hold a conversation. And I'm like, for someone who has his clique in the house that talks to a selected group of housemates, what are you saying? It's not like you've had conversations with every member of the house, like you've been having conversations with them like back to back, like every day, all day. For the most trusted housemate, he mentioned Suj. For the least trusted housemate, he mentioned Kassia, because she's very unpredictable. He doesn't know what she's going to do next, and like nobody in the house can predict her, and that's the reason why they refer to her as a witch in the house. For his least annoying, he mentioned Ndi. For his most annoying, he mentioned Victoria, course, she does. She when she's angry with you, when you do something to her and she's angry with you, she won't express it immediately. She would keep it in her mind and wait till an opportunity presents itself, and then she would snap at you and lash out at you and say all of that. And I'm like, I don't remember you and Victoria having a quarrel or a back and forth, a disagreement or a dispute or whatever you can call it. So for you to say this, it's a personal opinion. I don't know about that. I've never seen you guys have an altercation, so I don't know what you're talking about. Moving on, for Ndi, OC was a makeshift big brother. Sorry, OZ. And she had shared that at the beginning of the show, she struggled a lot, because she came into the house with her twin sister, and on getting to the house, her sister immediately jumped into a ship with Sean, and then she was all alone, and she was trying to find herself, find her balance. She struggled a lot. She had issues a lot, but now she's good. She's all well and good. She's all right. Like, she's open to making new friends, open to, knowing new people and all of that. So she's good and she's all right. For the most trusted, she mentioned Mbadwe twins and Sean. And I'm surprised because she didn't mention her sister. Is it that she doesn't trust her sister? Or she just intentionally omitted it because, of course, her sister will be the most trusted, but she just felt as though it's minus if in the absence of her twin sister, who you trust the most, like amongst the other housemates. So she had picked Mbadwe twins and Sean. So moving on to Kassia's diary session. For Kassia's diary session, OC was a makeshift big brother. Our session was quite interesting. It was all fun and vibes. Like, OC literally killed his role as a makeshift big brother. Like, this guy, I give it to him. Kudos, kudos, kudos. I give it to him. Like, he's really a big brother because, of course, we know the Mbadwe twins are the oldest in the house. So for Kassia's fears, she had said that she had none. I don't think there are people that have zero fears, that they have no fears. But she said none, that she doesn't fear anything. But the thing is that whenever she gets to something, into a new place, or she's trying to, she moves into a new environment, she will try to, she will first stay in her lane, try to, observe, get to know people better, try to, figure one or two things out before, she blends in and, comes out of her shell and starts, vibing and all of that. So, her first and wrong impression, she mentioned Tjay, and she said the reason is because she felt as though Tjay is a sweet, a nice person, a good person per se. But then, on studying him and getting to know him better, she had realized that Tjay is actually very cunning, and it's actually the snake that he called her husband, Kelly Ray. She didn't mention her husband first. It's actually the snake that he called Kelly Ray. And she had gone further to explain the reason why she said this. She was like, last week, Tjay had nominated her for possible eviction, and then he had come to apologize to her and tell her it's not that deep, it's the game and I'm really sorry, shaked her and hugged her, and she was like, no problem, thinking that probably this week she wouldn't nominate him. And nomination process happened this week again, and he had nominated her again even after apologizing. If that's not a snakish behavior, what do you call it? And she was like, thank God she didn't fall for his apology and his hugs and his shakes, and she had nominated him. If not, she would have been shocked. But it's all well and good. She nominated him and he nominated her right back. So they are good. Like, they'll just keep it like that. They'll just keep it that way. They are keeping it 100 with each other. You are a snake, and I know that already. So you cannot come and deceive me. And we all know that Tjay is up for possible eviction. Same as Kassia, but who knows? It just might go home. She was like, how do you nominate somebody, you apologize, and then you repeat the same thing again? The same thing you apologize for. Like, what do you call that? So for the most trusted, she had mentioned Victoria. And she didn't mention her husband. And I'm, okay, maybe these housemates are not mentioning their paired partner. Probably it's because they feel as though the question is, aside your paired partner, who do you trust the most? For her least trusted, she mentioned Tjay. For her most trusted, she mentioned Victoria. For her least annoying, she mentioned Anita. For her most annoying, she said no one. And OC was like, if you have a least annoying, you should definitely have the most annoying. And she was like, and she was just laughing, and it was like, oh, could it be me? And she was like, oh, okay, yes, you. She jokingly said yes, you. And it was like, why? And she said, because you call me a witch. And it was like, oh, that's all fun and vibes, just jokes. Like, it's not like he meant it. It's not like he meant it. He just calls her that way because he feels as though her and her peer partner, Kelly, they're actually good people. Like, whenever they play this, their evil and dark jokes, like, they don't take it to heart. Like, they don't, get upset about it. They don't take it personal. They just laugh and, laugh it out and, get it done and over with. They just, they take their jokes and they vibe a lot and they play a lot. So it's not that deep. Like, it's not, she shouldn't take it to art like she's actually a witch or he meant it. Like, it's just all fun and games, all vibes. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. And they laughed and, ended the diary session. So, guys, Kassia's diary session actually marks the end of the diary session for that day. So, guys, this is where I call it a day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. And there were several conversations held and had in several occasions. The housemates are currently having their Saturday night bedu. And I'm sure it's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a blast because 9 housemates are up for possible eviction tomorrow. So, guys, tell me, who did you vote for? Tell me in the comment section. Let's vibe. Who did you vote for? Who do you think is going home? And it's too soon. It's too early to start telling me your winner. So yeah, tell me what you think about this videos and this housemates diary session. I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys. Mwah. Juices forever. All my love, guys. Mwah. Peace and love. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye.